the Tower Theater was where we grew up as far as going to movies was concerned. 23rd itself was it didn't have an unoccupied space and drugstores, boutiques, economically vibrant street for sure.
My mother on Saturdays would drop off my older brother, me, and my little sister. Each got 2 quarters. Here's your quarters. So the movie was a quarter, and then we had the other 25 cents to get to the popcorn, the soda. You had to make a choice whether it was going to be popcorn, but then it was a race to the balcony, because that on Saturday afternoons, that was the hot spot for all the kids.
Different age groups would come to the theater, depending on what the movie was. I worked primarily at the Plaza Theater for the Shanborn brothers, and they owned the Tower also. So when they had a lot of business, they sent somebody over from the Plaza, and I'd work over here.
But I primarily worked at the Plaza Theater, and then occasionally when they needed extra help here, we would come over and work. And it was always fun to work here because this was nothing but roadshow, so theater. So you sold tickets, and they only had 2 movies a day. Show it in the evening and the afternoon. We had an afternoon showing probably around 2:45, something like that, and then they'd have the evening show.
In World War II, my dad was in the South Pacific, and my brother and I came to the Tower and sat through every feature all day long so that we could see the newsreel, because he was on the stage with General MacArthur.
This was a single screen, the Plaza was a single screen. Shepherd Twin may have been the first 2 screen. And then there was the Quail Twin that Ferris opened out on May and Hefner. And then it just got to the point where it was multiple screens. You had 8 screens and now 24 screens. And if you went to this place, you only had one picture to pick from. If you came out, you probably dressed up quite a bit. I mean, if I went on a date, I wore a blazer and maybe a tie, and slacks.
$3.25 to see Sound of Music. Now, it would be cheaper if you were upstairs in the balcony.
And I did get in trouble. My brother did rat me out one time for throwing a popcorn over the balcony. He ratted me out, so I'm sure I got him for that later, but I'm so glad it's still here. I couldn't believe it's still standing. It's going to be wonderful. It's a wonderful venue. Wonderful venue. I'm just so glad it's going to stay. It's going to stay here.
I mean, it was just a really neat place to work. I remember it being bigger than this, though. I guess that comes with age, that things kind of get smaller.
Well, a lot of the moms would drop their kids off and go to Streets or to Sears. Sears was up on 23rd and Penn up there, and do their shopping and then leave the kids were perfectly safe. We had no worries.
I specifically remember the mirrors because my sister worked here as well, and in '65, Sound of Music's playing, and we're preparing the working down here, and she's in charge of popping the popcorn. And somehow she goofed up, and she didn't use oil or something, and it started the place. They thought it was a fire, but in fact, it really was a smoke thing that went on. But I looked across at the mirrors, and I'm in the concession stand. I can't even see myself. I mean, it's that black in here. They called the fire department. They evacuated everybody out of the building and gave everybody rain checks. But I just knew she was going to get fired. They didn't fire her.
And then we started seeing what they were doing to the 23rd. It's just unbelievable. It's really nice. Because this used to be Uptown shopping. They had Rothschilds, and we had Catherine White's, and we had Curves, Streets.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I am so glad to see it's here. It's going to stay. My grandkids now can come here.
Thrilling for all of us who have an interest in this part of the city and memories of our childhood here. We want it to be vibrant and successful, and we're thrilled with what's going on.